A woman has been silently loving you, but fear is keeping her hidden. There's a reason you clicked on this video. Out of all the messages, all the distractions, all the noise in your life, you landed here. This is not a coincidence. God brought you here for a reason, and deep down, you can feel it. Something in your spirit has been sensing a shift, an unspoken energy, a quiet presence, a feeling you couldn't quite explain. You've tried to ignore it, brush it off, tell yourself it's nothing, but it keeps coming back stronger each time, because someone, somewhere has been thinking about you more than you realize. She sees you in ways others don't. While the world may overlook your depth, your struggles, your silent battles, she notices. She pays attention to the little things, the way you carry yourself, the way you stay strong, even when life tries to break you, the way your heart remains pure. In a world that often rewards the opposite, there's something about you that speaks to her soul, something that draws her in, quietly, yet powerfully. But here's the part that makes this different. She hasn't said a word, no confession, no obvious signs, no bold moves, just silence. And yet, within that silence, there's a storm of emotions she's trying to control. You may have crossed paths with her. You may have felt a strange tension, an unexplainable connection, or even moments where it seemed like she wanted to say something, but held back at the last second. That wasn't your imagination. That was real. And the reason it feels so intense is because it's not just ordinary attraction. It's deeper, spiritual. Something aligned beyond surface-level feelings. This kind of connection doesn't happen often. It's rare, and when it does, it doesn't come easy. It comes with layers, timing, fear, past wounds, and unseen spiritual battles that you may not even be aware of. You see, while you've been focusing on your journey, your growth, your purpose, she's been fighting a silent war within herself, a war between what she feels and what she fears. Because loving someone like you, someone chosen, someone walking a different path, can be overwhelming. It requires courage, it requires faith, and not everyone is ready for that kind of emotional and spiritual responsibility. So instead of stepping forward, she stays hidden, watching, praying, hoping. There are moments when she almost breaks her silence. Moments when her heart tells her to take the risk, to open up, to let you know the truth. But then something stops her. A voice, a memory, a fear rooted deeper than you can see. And just like that, she retreats again, leaving you with nothing but a feeling you can't quite explain. And here's what's even more powerful. Your spirit has already picked up on it. That pull you feel, that curiosity, that sense that someone is thinking about you, caring about you, even from a distance. That's not random. That's connection. That's alignment. That's something God allowed you to sense, even before it becomes visible in your reality. But timing matters. Everything about this situation is unfolding exactly as it should. Even the silence, even the distance, even the confusion. It's all part of something bigger. Something being prepared behind the scenes while you continue walking your path. Because when something is truly meant for you, it doesn't come rushed, forced, or incomplete. It comes at the right moment, in the right way, when both hearts are ready. And right now, she's not ready. Not because she doesn't care, but because What she feels for you is stronger than she knows how to handle. But the real reason she's hiding her feelings is something you never expected. She feels something real for you, but something inside her is holding her back. It's not confusion. It's not indifference. And it's definitely not because you don't matter. The truth is far more complicated and far more human. What she feels for you is real, deep, steady, and undeniable. But buried beneath that feeling is something heavier, something that has been shaping her reactions long before you ever came into her life. Fear. Not the kind of fear that fades overnight, but the kind that grows from past wounds, from moments where she gave her heart and watched it break, from times she trusted too quickly, loved too deeply, and ended up carrying pain she never fully healed from. Those experiences don't just disappear. They build walls, quiet, invisible walls that stand between her heart and the risk of feeling that pain again. And now here you are, someone different, someone who feels safe, yet at the same time, someone who makes her feel vulnerable in a way she hasn't felt in a long time. That combination is powerful and terrifying, because when something feels this real, the stakes feel higher. So instead of stepping closer, she pulls back, not because she doesn't want to be near you, but because getting closer means risking everything she's tried so hard to protect: her peace, her stability, the fragile sense of control she rebuilt. After everything she went through, she watches you from a distance, not in a way that's obvious, but in quiet, subtle ways. She notices when you're doing well. She senses when something feels off with you. She pays attention to your energy, your presence, your growth. And sometimes, when you're not even aware of it, she's silently rooting for you, hoping you succeed, hoping you find happiness, even if she's not the one standing beside you. That's how deeply she cares. But here's where it becomes even more complicated. She's not just afraid of rejection, she's afraid of losing you entirely, because, in her mind, if she speaks up and things don't go the way she hopes, it could create distance, awkwardness, or even push you away for good. And the thought of that, it's heavier than the silence she's carrying now. So she convinces herself that staying quiet is safer, that holding it in is better than risking the possibility of losing your presence in her life completely. Even if that means never knowing what could have been. There are moments when her emotions almost take over. Moments when she feels like she can't keep it inside anymore. When her heart races, when her thoughts become louder, when everything in her is telling her to just be honest. But then those old fears rise up again, reminding her of what happened before, whispering doubts, creating hesitation, and just like that, she stops herself. You might wonder why she doesn't just take the chance, why she doesn't trust the feeling, why she doesn't believe that this time could be different. But when someone has been hurt deeply, they don't just fear rejection. They fear repeating the same story. They fear giving their heart again, only to watch it fall apart in their hands. They fear misreading the signs, believing in something that isn't as strong on the other side. And most of all, they fear that if they open up and it doesn't work out, they won't be able to recover the same way again. So she stays where it feels safe, close enough to feel connected, but far enough to protect herself. And the hardest part, you may never fully see this struggle on the surface, 'cause she hides it well. She carries herself with strength, with composure, with a sense of control that makes it seem like she has everything figured out. But inside, there's a quiet battle happening every single day between what she feels and what she's afraid to face. And until that fear is confronted, until she finds the courage to believe that not every story ends in pain, she will remain in that space of silence, watching, feeling, holding back. But her silence is not weakness. It's hiding a deeper truth. If you pay attention closely, the signs are already there. Not loud, not obvious. Not the kind of signs the world teaches you to look for. These are quieter, deeper, almost easy to miss if you're not fully present. But once you notice them, you can't unsee them. They begin to form a pattern, one that points to something real, something intentional, something that goes far beyond coincidence. It starts with the way she looks at you. There's a difference between casual eye contact and the kind that lingers just a second, too long, the kind where her eyes soften without her realizing it. Sometimes she quickly looks away, almost like she's afraid of being caught. Other times, there's a depth in her gaze, like she's trying to understand you without asking a single question. It's not forced. It's not calculated. It's instinctive, like her soul recognizes something in you before her mind can explain it. And then there's her attention. She notices things about you that others overlook. The small changes in your mood, the moments when you're quiet, even if you're surrounded by people, the way you carry yourself. When something is weighing on your heart, she doesn't always say anything, but she sees it, and in her own quiet way, she responds. Maybe she checks on you indirectly. Maybe she offers help in subtle ways that don't draw attention. Maybe she finds reasons to be present when you need support, without making it obvious that she planned it. It's never loud, never dramatic, but it's consistent, and consistency is something you can't fake. She supports you, even when you don't realize it. There's a silent encouragement in the way she interacts with you. She believes in you, sometimes more than you believe in yourself. She celebrates your progress quietly, without needing recognition. And when things don't go your way, there's a shift in her energy, like she feels it too, like your struggles touch her in a way she can't fully explain. But perhaps the most telling sign is how she acts differently around you. You may notice it in small changes, the way her tone softens, the way she becomes more aware of her words. Sometimes she might seem a little nervous, a little guarded, like she's trying to keep her emotions in check. Other times she may seem unusually calm, almost like being around you brings her a sense of peace she doesn't find elsewhere. That contrast isn't random. It's what happens when someone feels deeply, but is trying not to show it. There are moments when her true feelings almost slip through. A smile that lingers a bit longer, a reaction that feels more personal than it should, a silence that says more than words ever could. And if you're paying attention, you've probably felt it. That unspoken connection, that quiet understanding that exists without explanation. And here's the part that makes it even more real. She doesn't treat everyone this way. What she gives you, this attention, this care, this presence. It's not something she offers freely to others. There's something specific about you that draws it out of her. Something that makes her lower her guard, even if only for a moment. And those moments, they're not accidental. They're glimpses of how she truly feels. But because she hasn't said it out loud, it leaves you questioning. Wondering if you're reading too much into it. Wondering if it's all in your head. That's the tension of it all. The feeling is there, the signs are there, but the confirmation is missing. And that's exactly where the confusion begins. Because when love is hidden behind silence, it speaks in ways that aren't always easy to understand. Still, your spirit recognizes it. That pull you feel when she's around, that awareness of her presence, that sense that something deeper is happening beneath the surface. It's not imagined, it's real, it's subtle, but it's consistent. And the more you pay attention, the clearer it becomes. But what you don't see is the spiritual reason behind her silence. This connection is not random. It's spiritual. What you're experiencing goes beyond simple attraction or coincidence. There's a deeper layer to this, one that can't be explained by logic alone. Because when two people are drawn to each other in this quiet, unspoken way, when emotions exist without words, when distance doesn't weaken the connection, it often means something is being orchestrated behind the scenes. This is where God's timing comes in. Not everything meaningful happens instantly. Some connections are placed into your life, not for immediate fulfillment, but for preparation, for growth, for alignment. And right now, what you're feeling, what she's feeling, is part of that process. Because before something real can come together, both hearts have to be ready. You may be on your own journey right now, growing, healing, learning lessons that are shaping who you're becoming. And while you're doing that, she's going through her own process too, facing her fears, confronting her past, slowly breaking down the walls that once protected her, but now hold her back. It may not be visible to you. It may not even be something she fully understands herself. But spiritually, something is shifting. There are moments when God allows distance, silence, and uncertainty. Not to confuse you, but to prepare you. Because if everything happened too quickly, without growth, without understanding, without healing, it wouldn't last. It wouldn't have the foundation needed to survive the challenges that come with something real. So instead, there's a pause, a space where feelings exist, but actions are delayed, a season where connection is felt, but not yet fully expressed. And in that space, both of you are being shaped into who you need to be. She may not be speaking, but that doesn't mean she's not moving forward. In her own quiet way, she's learning, she's observing, she's becoming more aware of what she feels and why it matters, and slowly, the fear that once controlled her begins to lose its grip. Because when something is truly meant to happen, growth follows, and sometimes, waiting is part of that growth. You might feel like things are stuck, like nothing is progressing, like you're being left in the dark. But spiritually, movement doesn't always look like action. Sometimes it looks like stillness, like patience, like trusting that what's meant for you is being prepared, even when you can't see it. And here's something even deeper to consider. Not every connection is meant to start immediately. Some are meant to unfold in stages, to begin with awareness, then understanding, then timing. Because when the moment finally comes, when everything aligns, it won't feel rushed or forced. It will feel clear, certain, almost effortless, in a way that makes you realize why it had to happen like this, why the silence was necessary, why the waiting mattered. She may be holding back now, but it's not without purpose. There's something inside her that knows this connection is significant, and that same awareness is what makes her cautious, because she doesn't want to mishandle something that feels this important. She doesn't want to rush into something she hasn't fully prepared her heart for. So she waits, not just out of fear, but out of a deeper instinct that tells her the timing has to be right. And while she waits, you're being prepared too. Every experience, every lesson, every moment of growth you're going through right now is shaping you for what's ahead. Even the confusion you feel, even the questions you have, they're all part of guiding you toward a clearer understanding of what this connection truly means. Because when God is involved, nothing is wasted. Not the silence, not the distance, not even the uncertainty. It's all part of something bigger than what you can currently see. And when the time comes, when both of you have reached that point of readiness, everything that once felt unclear will begin to make sense. The signs, the feelings, the waiting, it will all come together in a way that feels undeniable. But soon, everything is about to change in a way you can't imagine. If this message resonates with you, then you already feel the truth. There's something inside you that recognizes this, something deeper than logic, deeper than doubt. You didn't need proof, you didn't need confirmation, because your spirit already picked up on what your eyes couldn't fully see. And that's not something to ignore. It's something to respect. You're not imagining this connection. You're not overthinking it. What you've been feeling has a reason behind it. And that reason didn't come from chance. It came from alignment, from timing, from something greater than both of you, working quietly in the background. But here's what matters most right now: patience. Not the kind of patience that feels forced or frustrating, but the kind that comes from trust. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Trust that if something is real, it won't disappear. It will find its way to you at the right moment, in the right way, when everything is ready. Because rushing something spiritual often leads to confusion, but allowing it to unfold leads to clarity. You don't need to chase this. You don't need to force conversations or create outcomes that aren't ready yet. What you need to do is stay grounded in your own journey. Keep growing. Keep becoming the person you're meant to be. Because as you evolve, everything that aligns with you will naturally move closer, including her. And while you're in this space, pay attention to your emotions, not in a way that creates anxiety, but in a way that brings awareness. Notice how you feel when she's around. Notice the calm, the curiosity, the quiet pull that doesn't need explanation. Those feelings are guiding you. They're showing you that something real exists, even if it hasn't fully revealed itself yet. At the same time, protect your peace. Don't let uncertainty turn into overthinking. Don't let silence turn into doubt about your worth. This situation isn't a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of timing, of preparation, of two people moving through their own paths before those paths fully come together. And when you understand that, everything shifts. Instead of feeling confused, you feel calm. Instead of feeling impatient, you feel grounded. Because you realize that what's truly meant for you doesn't require you to lose yourself to obtain it. It will meet you where you are. So if this message speaks to you, if something inside you feels seen, understood, or even a little emotional right now, take a moment and acknowledge it. That's not random. That's connection. And I want you to do something simple. Comment below if you feel this message in your heart. Not for anyone else, but as a way of affirming what your spirit already knows. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because messages like this aren't here by accident. They're here to guide you, to remind you, and to keep you aligned with what truly matters. And if this touched you in any way, like this video and share it with someone who might need to hear this too. You never know who else is going through something similar, silently, trying to understand what they feel. Remember this: not everything meaningful starts with clarity. Some things begin with confusion, with silence, with questions that don't have immediate answers. But that doesn't make them any less real. In fact, it often makes them more powerful, because when something is guided by God, it doesn't need to announce itself loudly. It unfolds in its own time, in its own way, revealing itself piece by piece, until everything finally makes sense. And when it does, you'll look back at this moment and realize nothing was ever uncertain. It was just waiting. Some love stories begin in silence, but are written by God.